It's Pastor Chris with my brother C Single. We're bringing wise words. Yeah. Hey yo, some MCs like to brag, they like to boast, they like to talk about who got the most materialistic value. Must I remind you, can't take none of that with you. Much respect to those who come correct and never neglect to focus on family. Father, mother, sister, brother, love is the message we bring to others.
Grace and peace, grace and peace. This is Pastor Christopher Darrell Hannon, and this is the Wise Word Community Table. Today, I'm excited because our special guest is the newly elected Jefferson County Sheriff, Mr. Mark Pettway. Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you, Pastor Adam. Glad to be with this morning.
As you know, there's been a lot going on in terms of law enforcement and the community. We have, even at this time, we have protesting because of the E.J. Bradford Jr. shooting, and the community, we're going through something right now. But I studied a little bit of some of the things you've done in the past, and I'm really hopeful, and I'm tapping into some of the things that I saw. Before we even go any further, Mark, share with us some of the things that you've already done.
Oh, well, I just got out of the campaign. We have a very good message that we had during the campaign. And some of the things that we were looking at doing was bringing the law enforcement community and the law enforcement and the regular community together to make sure that there is no gap, but we're on the same page. We're walking together in harmony. That the belief and the trust that the community has in law enforcement is going to be restored. We want to make sure that they can have belief in us, trust in us, knowing when we get there that we will do a great job for them. Also, we're looking at some criminal justice reform. We want to change the way we do business here. We want to make sure that we don't just say we want to stop the revolving door, but we have something in place to stop the revolving door. We're actively right now seeking out partners to make sure that we can have something in place to make sure that those that come to the facility, that when they leave, they have opportunities wait on them, such as jobs. What is truck driving jobs or welding jobs? Not only can they we work for somebody with those vocations, but they can also own their own businesses. So we're looking to help them and change them. We wanted to rehab them. Those programs are already in effect in several states right now, but just not in Alabama. We want to make sure that we bring it here to Alabama. Change the way we do business here, because we can stop the revolving door if we put something in place. And then we're not putting the money on the back end by building more prisons, but we put it on the front end by helping those that are incarcerated and making sure that you will not come back to jail. So yes, we want to change the way we do business, and we actively right now bringing partners together to make sure that when we get in office next month, that plan will be implemented immediately.
Awesome. You're known to be a family man and a man of faith. Awesome. That being said, one of the things on the grassroots level, Mark, I go out and Pastor Chris, I'm out there with people every day, young people, and my desire is to try to reinforce that trust that we're talking about between the community and law enforcement. But on the grassroots level right now, because when we sit down at home and turn on our TV, many of us see the same images day after day. And what happens is those images stick in the minds of the people. We see police brutality on our TV screen every night. We see something negative or something terrible that has happened. So when we go out into our neighborhoods and into the community, many times individuals become afraid of the people that are there to help them. Case in point, the reaction that some of us may have because a police officer may pull us over, Mark, may be different from someone else. That being said, if a police behind me and I'm driving and I'm a black guy, I may be more afraid that I may not get through this simple procedure. It may not be nothing at all. Then somebody else might feel like, well, I didn't do anything. I'll pull over. I didn't do anything. I have nothing to fear. But we have seen on the TV screen continuously the images of people in situations where things have gone bad. We need to build that trust up again, where when we see law enforcement, we're no longer feeling like we're already a victim.
I agree with you. Our position is there to help.
Yes, sir.
We have a position of trust. People in the public should be able to trust us. We're there to serve and to protect. When we're not doing that, that means that we're not a part of that community. What we need to do to be really a part of that community is to hire people from that community, people that reflect that community. When we hire people that do not understand the community that they're serving, it becomes a problem.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of times I tell people, hey, we're loud people. And we have somebody who's not used to people being loud, they get afraid. And when they get afraid, they try to fend for themselves. Well, when I grew up playing cards, we slapped cards on the table. We were loud about it and everything. But I do know that everybody's not like that.
That's right.
So when you have somebody come in that is not like that, they get afraid of that. When they're afraid of you, then they don't know how to deal with you. So coming into this position, I realized I have to hire people from the community who to best serve the community are the ones that are from this community because they understand the community. And I believe at that point, we won't have police brutality. We won't have to worry about not trusting the police officer because these people are from the community. These are the people that go to your church or church down the street from you. People you see in your community that you can hold accountable because they are people who are part of your everyday community. So I think that that's what's needed right now, law enforcement. People that live in the, I'm gonna tell you another one. When I grew up going to school, the teachers that taught us, I went to Wilson Elementary School, the teachers and the principal lived right there in the community. They saw you going to school, they saw you coming home. They knew you, they knew your siblings, they knew your parents. They best served that community and they best served that school because they lived right there in that area. When you cut up going to school, they took care of you right there. You cut up going home, they took care of you right there and they called your parents also. They were part of the community. It made a big difference because they were right there in the community and they had a vested interest in the community, making sure that you grew up and you were educated. So they made sure that you had that if they saw you doing something wrong, they were going to correct you right there on the spot.
Wow, that's awesome. One of the things that I also noticed that you had done or wanted to do is have bicycle patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something still on the table? I think that would be very instrumental in slowing things down, allowing that officer in the area to really get to know the people. Sometimes we move so fast, it's microwave, and we don't get to really actually know the people. And I think with that bicycle patrol, I think that's a great idea. That's something we still want to do.
Now, the main idea was community policing.
Okay.
And I did do bike patrol as part of community policing right down the street right here in Fairfield. I was an officer in Fairfield for 6 years, which means that I was not in a vehicle. That means I was just as close as I am to you right now to a person. They were able to text me, reach out and text me. The kids came up to me. They idolized me, which I didn't think was a good thing, but they wanted to ride with me. They said, hey, you ride a bicycle, we want to ride with you. I became part of that community. So the kids, they loved what we were doing and they wanted to become part of it. We also said, hey, we want to be able to do something for the kids. So we did a bicycle rodeo for the kids to bike and become part of what we were doing. But we were right close to the public, the vendors, those that were in the business area. We rode up and down, they saw us, we stopped, and we had opportunities to go into the stores and talk with them. The public was very close to us. There was no barrier. There was no car door. There was nothing separated us from the public. We were very close to them. We were able to talk to them and face them, and they enjoyed it. And yes, there was many different forms of community policing. I was out on the campaign trail, and Pastor Austin came up to me and said, "Hey, I got a good plan for you. Every plan is not my plan, but I love to talk to people. He gives good ideas and incorporate them." He said, "What we want to do in the community, we want to be able to have a sign that we can put in the yard to let the officers know when they come by, they can stop by here and get a drink of water. They can get a meal." So he said, what we would do, we'll take that sign and we'll exchange it from one bar to another bar. So that way they can come in and talk to the citizens and the residents of the community, and they can build a relationship. Those in the community will feel free to share things that are going on in the community with those officers. They can better serve the community by being a partner and a friend to that community. That information is very valuable because investigations that are going on, we can use that information to go back and help solve crime, help stop or prevent crime from happening. So that was a good idea that came to me from a Pastor Austin. And once we get to rolling, we will look at trying to implement that idea.
Let's talk school.
Yes, sir.
We know that family, schools, and our youth is something that is your passion. Now, we have experienced throughout our country the senseless crime or violence in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dear to my heart because our children should not be afraid to go to school and worry about whether or not they're going to come home. So my question is, how do we battle something like the school violence on the scale that we're seeing today?
That's a good question. And I like to say everything starts with home. Everything starts with home. We leave home a lot of times with stressed out. They're not easy. Probably do the homework from last night. Don't have the type of clothes that they want to wear going to school. All of that is stressing for the kids. Once they get to school, then they're confronted with other kids that are probably pouring those things out and making fun of them. So everything starts at home. We have to teach our children how to love each other, how to respect one another. And if we're not teaching that, they're teaching themselves how to pick fun of one another, pour things out that they think is different, that they may have, that the other kids does not have. And I believe that brings about a problem, and then it escalates the bullying. And once that happens in the school, kids feel like I have to protect myself. I'm tired of this. I don't want to go through it. And they're not able to handle the ridicule or the put down. And they will resort to some type of form of violence.
I want to piggyback on that thought because a lot of us or a lot of people may not know how to see the telltale signs of a child having those type of issues. We need to be able to have some kind of way, Mark, to identify when a child is, because a lot of times children are afraid to talk to adults. They're afraid to talk to the pastor, mom and dad, and we have to be strategic and proactive in terms of, like you said, at home in these type of environments to see that before it gets out of hand. Knowledge. Is there anything that you can bring to forums like this, community-based wise, where you can educate us on some things that we need to know as a general community to prevent this type of thing from happening to our children?
Absolutely. I'll be glad to. Once upon a time, I was a substitute teacher. So I've actually been in the classroom. I come from a family of educators. And so does my wife. And now my daughters are both in the classroom. And they come home and share stories with me. And I still go out to the school to talk to the kids. And I love doing that. It's a passion of mine. There are some signs that we can point out. If a kid is in the classroom and they're not producing leadership, or they're not focused, but it's focused, something is going on with it. The teacher ought to be able to see certain signs that the kid is not producing, the kid is not focused. So we do need to have somebody on staff that can help. Sometimes you may have to do with it. You need to have somebody there that can help those kids that are not performing because they should perform, or find out what's going on with them. You see, we can get to the root cause of those problems, so we can deal with that root cause and get that kid back in the classroom so the kid can perform at a level where they can bring up their scores and make great scores in the test. So we have to deal with whatever is going on at the root level of those kids. And sometimes it can be something at home, or sometimes it can be something in their class. And until we find out what it is, we will experience a kid with failing grades and possibly acting out in the class. Again, we're going to violence. And that's something that we want to stop.
Wow, that's awesome. The family structure. I want to get back to the family because that's really the heart where everything began. Domestic violence. How do we, there's things going on behind closed doors that many people don't really realize what goes on. How do we as a community deal with the horrible things that go on behind closed doors, such as domestic violence and abuse? If a parent, mom and dad is not getting along, no doubt that's going to impact the children. And so, as a community, how do we build an environment where we can address that issue also?
Now, kids will learn from their parents. If they see that their parents are living in a household where there's a lot of violence, they think that is normal. Now, we don't want that to become normal unto them. If someone, or if there's a lot of violence or anger going on in the household, we want them to get help. We want them to go to management anger classes to get control of their anger, to manage their anger. We want teaching and training to go on for those individuals, whether it's the mother or the father or whoever it is in the household that has those problems. We don't want it to escalate to where someone outwardly hit or abuse somebody within their household. If they can get help before that happens, great. They need anger management first. And we push anger management. I think the YMCA was giving those, or the YWCA was doing those classes free. It would help those individuals that have problems controlling their temper, anger management, and that's what we need to press on them. If they can't come to church, if you're not at church when you get counseling from the pastor or a counselor at church, you go to other organizations such as the YWCA, get help. We want to make sure that nobody gets hurt within their household. I have a lot of friends that have lived through those types of situations. They saw family members abused. Thank God that they were able to get help. They were able to get counseling because they could end up abusing somebody else themselves. Hurt people hurt other people. And we don't want that to continue to be a trend to where everybody in the household ends up hurting somebody else. So we want them to get help. And the sooner they get help, the better.
Back to the street. Back to the street. A lot of problems has to do with gangs, drugs, in the street. As a pastor, I've seen how we can change the culture. And, the influence of these particular things in our community. I think we need to change that and make that uncool again. I think that, as Pastor Chris, I'm going out and I'm like, well, you know what, that's just not cool. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to go down that road. And sometimes there are kids, there's many kids that listen to Pastor Chris based on the influence. But as a law enforcement person, how can we change the culture of gangs and drugs within the community, Mark? What else can we do? Because that's a big issue. A lot of things stem from people trying to get drugs or people trying to make money based on drugs. So how do we deal with that? That's a huge problem.
It is. And it's economic. A lot of those kids feel like, hey, this is the only thing I can do to be able to make a living. And not only that, it's almost glamorized in a lot of ways because a lot of neighborhoods, they see the guy, the top guy, the head guy, coming through there with a nice vehicle. They want to be a driver vehicle like that. It glamorizes them. I want to be like him. I want to work myself up to be like him. They did not do good in school. A lot of them dropped out of school. They didn't feel like school was going to be able to be a way out for them. So they saw that, hey, I can go over here and make some quick money. And I can get what whoever that person's driving at the day. I can get one of those, or I can get a Tahoe or something like that, a nice vehicle. But what we need to do for them, because all of them that'll stand on that street corner don't need to be cast away or cast down. We need to be able to help them reach out to them and realize that once upon a time in school, what we had was vocational programs. We took those vocational programs out of school. If we had those vocational programs back in school where they could lead to apprenticeship to be able to help those individuals to get jobs where they're using their hands. I believe that we can save a lot of those kids from being on the street. They can own their own business. They can work for somebody. A lot of those jobs come with great wages. Or they can own their own business. If they're entrepreneur minded, a lot of them that'll stand out there on the corner, they say they want to be a business owner, they say they're a business owner, doing what they're doing. They can own their own business, own their own plumbing business, even air business. If they learn the trade, they can do it. So what we need to do is try to see if we can get with the school system and see if we can bring them back those programs into the school system. Gardendale High School have a state-of-the-art program out there, state-of-the-art facility. They want to exclude certain people from it because that means that if they get out there, if certain people get out there and learn those trades, that market is open for them. But if they exclude them, that market is only open for certain kids, certain people. We need that in our community, in our school, to be able to compete those kids. So yes, I believe that if we are able to bring those programs, we can save those kids from being on the street corner.
Well, Mark, I really enjoyed talking with you, having this opportunity for you to sit down and share your vision with us in the community. I think that's really powerful when people such as yourself can come to the grassroots level and really share with us. But I would like to say before we close out is that you have a powerful vision, but to make it work, it's going to take everybody coming off the sideline, watching. This is not a spectator thing. We're all going to have to come to the table and work together. We're going to have to cross the aisle and come together because too much is at stake. We can win, but we only go to win if the team wins. We got to win together. This is Pastor Chris, Wise Wordz Community Table. Our special guest for today is our newly elected Sheriff of Jefferson County, Mark Pettway. We had a pleasure talking to him. We want to keep you updated on everything that's going on. Next week, our guest will be the ex-governor, Don Singleman, will be here as our guest. We're excited to have him on. We want you to tune in, and whatever you do, walk in peace and love. This is Pastor Christopher Dowhannon from Wise Wordz Community Table. We love you. God bless you.
Wilder's Custom Built Ironworks. We build one-of-a-kind furniture like beds, tables, benches, end tables, chandeliers with a combination of wood, tile, copper, and unique designs. This can be the perfect gift for anyone during Christmas, birthday, anniversary, or just because. Send us a picture or even an image you have in mind that fits your personality or style. Send it to us and let us build your dream piece. Call us today for a quote.
Looking for ways to have an unforgettable experience? If you want to have fun, just say Big Event Photo Booths. Big Event Photo Booths are transpired by a team with more than 10 years in the event rental industry, serving the following counties: Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura, and San Diego. Big Event Photo Booths. For more information, call 949-988-0535. That's 949-988-0535.
It's Pastor Chris with my brother C Single. We're bringing wise words. Yeah. Hey yo, some MCs like to brag, they like to boast, they like to talk about who got the most materialistic value. Must I remind you, can't take none of that with you. Much respect to those who come correct and never neglect to focus on family. Father, mother, sister, brother, love is the message we bring to others. Words, wise words, going worldwide. Wise words, going worldwide, yo. Wise words, going worldwide. Wise words, going worldwide, yo.
Has played the background, and wise words gon' bring it back now. Lord knows we putting it down. Breaking news from town to town. First rule, communicate. Gotta know what's poppin', don't speculate. Now, if it's working, then it's working. If it don't add up, then it won't stand up. In other words, don't get caught up. News flash, and it's you they brought up. Blowing the fuse, cause you're so confused. Mistakes and miscues for time that's misused. We all know
you come correct and never neglect to focus on family. Father, mother, sister, brother, love is the message we bring to others. Words, wise words, going worldwide. Wise words, going worldwide, yo. Wise words, going worldwide. Wise words, going worldwide, yo.
has played the background, and wise words gon' bring it back now. Lord knows we putting it down. Breaking news from town to town. First rule, communicate. Gotta know what's poppin', don't speculate. Now, if it's working, then it's working. If it don't add up, then it won't stand up. In other words, don't get caught up. News flash, and it's you they brought up. Blowing the fuse, cause you're so confused. Mistakes and miscues for time that's misused. We all know you don't play, you lose. We all know it's your choice to choose. Make it a good one, make it the right one. Wise words, come and get some.